Imagine two nuclear-armed neighbors, India and Pakistan, locked in a bitter rivalry for decades. Their border tense and their relations fraught with peril. Now, picture an unexpected peacekeeper stepping in. Not a diplomat, but the world's most powerful economy. What if trade tariffs, not diplomacy, were the secret ingredient that cooled tensions between these nations? Today, we explore President Donald Trump's headline-grabbing claim and dig into the evidence, the skepticism, and the geopolitical chess game at play. Welcome to the GeoInsight. If you're passionate about understanding the moves and motives behind today's critical global events, you're in the right place. Let's start with some history. India and Pakistan have shared a hostile relationship since their birth in 1947. Rooted in religious, territorial, and political disputes, most notably over the Kashmir region, their rivalry has erupted into wars, military standoffs, and exchanges of fire across the line of control. The potential for conflict remains high, with both countries prioritizing large military budgets and nuclear arsenals. It's a standoff that often keeps global leaders on edge. But what does all this have to do with tariffs and global trade? Enter President Donald Trump. Recently, President Trump made headlines with a bold claim. The United States, through its tough tariff policies and sharp trade negotiations, pressured Pakistan and India to reduce their hostilities. Trump suggests it was Washington's economic leverage, not traditional diplomatic nudging, that forced both nations to the table and cooled tensions. He said, "We were able to help keep the peace between India and Pakistan all because of tariffs." The assertion ties American economic might to outcomes in distant conflict zones. But is there truth to Trump's statement? Or is it just more political grandstanding? Let's unpack the story. Tariffs are taxes imposed on imports that can reshape global trade flows. Under Trump's leadership, the U.S. imposed punitive tariffs on goods from multiple countries, including China, India, and Pakistan. The rationale? To protect American industries, push for fairer trade deals, and compel other governments to reconsider their policies. With India and Pakistan both facing tariff pressures from the U.S., their economies felt the strain. For Pakistan, U.S. tariffs are especially consequential. Its export sector depends heavily on Western markets. For India, tariffs impact everything from steel producers to tech exporters. Did these economic pressures really force the two sides to step back from military aggression? Or were other factors at play? Analysis by international experts offers a complex picture. While the U.S. certainly wields enormous leverage through its economic might, direct links between tariffs and reduced military tensions are harder to prove. Diplomats point out that dialogue between India and Pakistan often happens in closed-door meetings, influenced by back-channel negotiations, international pressure, and occasional third-party mediation, not solely by economic sanctions. Moreover, the U.S. strategically balances its relationships with both India and Pakistan, supplying military hardware to the former and providing aid to the latter. Tariffs are just one piece of a much larger puzzle. So, is Trump's statement merely political bravado, designed for headlines? Or is there an underlying logic, however subtle, to his argument? Several experts are skeptical. They note that U.S. interventions in South Asia have historically included diplomatic efforts, intelligence sharing, and crisis response, rather than tariff impositions. When India and Pakistan clashed in recent years, such as the 2019 Pulwama Balakot crisis, American officials worked swiftly behind the scenes to de-escalate the situation, relying on diplomatic channels rather than trade threats. Yet, economic pain can play a role in diplomacy. Some theorists argue that when countries are economically stressed, they're less likely to pursue risky military adventures. In this light, U.S. tariffs may indirectly encourage restraint. International reactions to Trump's statement have been mixed. Indian officials downplay the U.S. assertion, emphasizing homegrown dialogue and bilateral initiatives. Pakistani leaders, facing economic pressures from multiple sides, have acknowledged America's role, but point to broader geopolitical shifts. In Washington, some analysts agree that economic policies can be a tool in geopolitics. Others warn against oversimplifying complex relationships into single-cause explanations. This episode reveals how trade policy and geopolitics intersect in unpredictable ways. Trump's claim throws light on a new form of power, the ability to influence foreign behavior using economic levers. As global trade becomes increasingly woven with national security, expect more leaders to wield tariffs as diplomatic tools. But questions linger. At what cost do these pressures come for ordinary citizens? Does economic hardship truly foster peace or merely breed resentment? These are debates echoing around the world as the US adapts its strategy. As viewers of the GeoInsight, consider this: traditional diplomacy still matters. Dialogues, treaties, bilateral talks, and regional forums remain the backbone of peace. Tariffs, while powerful, are only part of the picture. President Trump's bold statement may be rooted as much in politics as in actual policy, but it draws attention to the evolving nature of American influence and the growing trend of economic statecraft. So, did US tariffs really keep the peace between India and Pakistan? The answer is complicated. Economic pressure can influence nations, but the art of diplomacy is more multifaceted than any single tool. What's clear is that world powers, especially the United States, will continue to test new methods to navigate old rivalries. In an era of shifting alliances and economic brinkmanship, understanding these trends is more vital than ever. If you want more analyses like this on breaking global stories and the geopolitical games shaping our world, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the GeoInsight, and turn on notifications. Stay curious, stay critical, and join us next time for deeper insight into the stories that matter most.